Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today is June 21st, 2021, and this is episode 339. Nottingham is today's book, and I'm really enjoying this. This is going to get the Indie Comics Jones good excavating seal of approval for sure. It's one of my favorite books that I'm reading currently. That goes along with other items like Beta Ray Bill, Terry Moore's Serial. Boy, if I could think of something else. Oh, the one I just started, Seven Swords, very good. So yeah, I'm all in on Nottingham. The story's got a lot of twists. It is based on the Robin Hood legend. However, like I said, there's a lot of twists here. The sheriff appears to be the good guy in the story, and he's also a master detective in this, which has kind of been very interesting to follow him along as he discovers clues and figures things out. With the kingdom almost all against him, he's still holding his own, but it's getting more difficult. Now, this cover that we see here, we've got King, or not King, but Sheriff of Nottingham sitting here, and he's got all these masks behind him. This is what the merry men wear, these masks, and they're very hideous. And I just want to say the art in here is at times very grotesque. The colorist is it's very garish. However, it fits with this story so well. Now the women in here are drawn pretty nicely. They look pretty good, but the men are typically, like I said, a little on the grotesque side. But it is a fun story, very intriguing, and I've been loving it. And it's very bloody, by the way. So let's see who worked on this. The writer is David Hassan. The artist was Shane Connery Volk. Looks like Luca Romano is the colorist. Jormet Gill is the letterer. Chris Fernandez is the editor, along with Brian Hawkins. And the book designer was Diana Bermudez. So this is a recommend. Obviously, I love this book. It will be getting the Indie Comics Jones Good Excavating Seal of Approval shortly, as soon as we go through the story a little bit. If you recall the regular legend of Robin, the king throws a contest in order to catch Robin Hood. He's offering this big prize for the best archer in the land, and even though the sheriff has said, no, this is not a good idea. We don't know the number of merry men there are. We don't know their ingenuity. We don't know their willingness to kill for their beliefs. We don't know enough about them. This is crazy. But the king has decided to go along with it because that's his deal. He really thinks it's going to work. Now, Maid Marian knows of the plan, and she has tipped off Robin already. However, Robin is going to double cross her as well and not go after the prize itself, but try to actually execute the king. My one critique of the story, it does have this kind of fable that runs through this issue, and it pretty much fits what's going on, but it is a little, takes you out of the immersion of the story a bit. It pulls you back, in my opinion. Whereas the story's really flowing well, and you think this is going to have some connection, and it does a little bit, but it's not as strong as connection as we'd like, as much as I'd like to see. So you can see here's a good shot of the sheriff, and here's Maid Marian. So you can see that the way the women are drawn is much more wholesome than the way the guys are drawn, and you can see here's another example of the king here up here. And how he looks. So they set up this trap for Robin Hood, not knowing how many merry men there are, or not knowing that he knows of the plan that is actually a trap. Now, in past issues, we've seen what the sheriff has gone through, and then we know that he's a very ingenious man on his own. He's acting like Sherlock Holmes at times a bit, and doing his best when it seems like almost everybody is against him. And it's a nice twist. It's just a really, really nice twist, and it doesn't even really. It wouldn't even have to be Robin Hood. anybody, but with having the Robin Hood thing, you know the characters already. You know who to expect, who's going to show up. So right off the bat, we've got our tournament starting. There's some jousting, some duels, some melee, and then they're going to the archery, and they first have Robin of Locksley come up to take his shots. He shoots from the left side using his left arm and hits a bullseye. From the right side, he does the same thing, other arm, and splits the bullseye, and the announcer can't believe it. Now, what Sheriff has picked up on this is he goes, oh, okay, he's ambidextrous. He was looking for a killer of Will Scarlet, and they figured it was a left-hander that had killed him since the wounds were on Will Scarlet's right side. So he was looking for a left-hander, and now he sees that Robin can do it from either side, so that's another clue that he's picked up. So pretty neat little things going on here. Suddenly, the announcer starts bleeding at the mouth, and he gets a few more arrows in him, and the merry men have been hiding under the stands. They don their masks, and they start taking out a lot of the guards that are there. And this becomes a really intense battle that goes on throughout. So the sheriff's saying, we need to go. They're saying we need to protect the prize. And he goes, don't you understand? You are the prize. They want to kill you. And so at this time, Maid Marian realizes she's been also double-crossed by what's going on here and that she's in danger as well. And so we get this nice battle of all the merrymen coming at the small group of soldiers and sheriff and the royal contingency. He's trying to protect them all. He's trying to do his best for his countrymen, I guess you could say. Now, as you can see, these merry men, there's Little John, obviously looming above everybody. He's just killing these guards like crazy. And there's less and less of them. They keep falling back. They're trying to stand up. Don't let a single bloody one get by. And things are just not going good as they're greatly outnumbered, and the battle just kind of continues on. At some point, Sheriff takes a couple arrows. He's able to pull one of out of me. Maid Marian actually takes up the sword and stabs a couple of these merry men herself, and they continue to fall back to the castle. They're hoping to get to the causeway, which is more narrow and easier to defend, and they make it there. As you can see, they are getting pushed back into the castle. They get in and are able to close the doors behind them, but they realize the outer wall, they don't have enough guards left to guard the outer wall, so they're just going to try to guard the keep. As Robin of Locksley looks overhead, you can see how many merry men there are. They're just at his beck and call. So one of the final things we do in this issue is Sheriff arrests Maid Marian because she's a left-hander. So he's thinking that she killed Will Scarlet. Now I think this is a play on his part. He is trying to set something up because I think deep down he believes it is Robin, but still just a really good way to end this story, this issue. So we got a cliffhanger. She has been connected because of some kind of heirloom and matches her earrings, and she is taken into custody. And that's why this issue ends. Now here's the cover for the next one. Number 5, really looking forward to it. Just a really, really great story. Really fun to read, and just discovering little things. Just a nice little twist. So you got Little John, Robin of Locksley, Maid Marian, and the sheriff here. Didn't think it would be focused so much on the sheriff, but nice idea here. Okay, let's see what else is going on with Mad Cave. We've got Beck's Star that the first issue came out last month. I did give it a recommend. It's a Joe Corolla. Then we have a trade paperback of Terminal Punks coming out this month. Battle Cats. I think this is a new one, July 2021. I look forward to that floppy. This is a trade paperback for Pantomime, also in July 2021. They Fell from the Sky paperback. Okay, August 2021. And finally, this looks like a new comic, Bountiful Garden, in stores September 8th, 2021. All right, ooh, let's see what else we got here. Looks like this might be, nope, I thought maybe it was a double spread cover, but that's what we got in the back here, the tournament jousting that was going on. Okay, so this does qualify for Indie Comics Jones. Good excavating seal of approval. I'll put it right over here. Given out by Indie Comics Jones, only on this channel, so it is a very much an exclusive here, and it just means that I really like the book enough to recommend it. Okay, so thanks for stopping by and listening to this review. As always, please like, please subscribe, please leave comments, and we'll see you next time at the Temple of Tomes. This is Indie Comics Jones bidding you adieu.